All right, let's jump right in. If you're learning English, I bet you've run into this one. When on earth do you use some, and when do you use any? It seems so simple, but it trips up pretty much everyone at some point. So today, we're going to break down the rules, clear up all that confusion, and even uncover a few surprises along the way.
So, let's start with a little pop quiz. I haven't got blank friends. Should you use some or any? Now, if your gut immediately screamed any, you are definitely on the right track. But do you know the real reason why it's the right choice? That why is exactly what we're about to get into.
You know, this whole puzzle really boils down to just one core idea, and that's the difference between what we call affirmative and non-affirmative sentences. Basically, think of it as positive statements versus, well, everything else.
To really get this, we need to understand this term, non-affirmative. It sounds a little technical, but it's just a label for words that love to hang out in sentences that aren't simple positive statements. We're talking questions, negative sentences, and a couple of other situations we'll see in just a minute.
And this slide lays it out perfectly. Look on the left. Those are our affirmative, our positive sentences. I need some razor blades. Simple, straightforward fact. But now look at the right. We've got non-affirmative situations, a question and a negative. And in both cases, some is swapped out for any. Have you got any? I haven't got any. That right there is the fundamental rule.
But, English just loves its little details, doesn't it? That basic rule is a great start, but let's go one level deeper. See, when you want to say something negative, you actually have a choice, and the choice you make changes the feeling of the sentence.
So here's our standard negative sentence, just using the rule we learned. She hasn't got any friends. It's a clear, factual statement. It gets the job done.
Okay, now look at this version. She's got no friends. The basic meaning is exactly the same, but can you feel that? There's a difference in the tone. It just hits a little harder, doesn't it?
And that's the key takeaway. While not any is pretty neutral, using no adds a real punch. It makes the negative statement feel stronger, more direct. It's the difference between just stating a fact and really trying to drive a point home.
So we've got it. Any works with not, and it works in questions. But here's where things get really interesting. Any is also triggered by words that are negative in their meaning, even if the word not is absolutely nowhere to be found.
Think about it. Words like never, hardly, and without, they all have this negative vibe, right? They create a non-affirmative feeling all by themselves. And when you use any of these words, you have to use any, not some.
And here is a perfect example of that in action. We got there without any trouble. That word, without, is our hidden negative, our trigger. You would never say, without some trouble, it just sounds wrong, and now you know exactly why.
Okay, so you're feeling good. You've got the rules down. Some is for positive, any is for everything else. Simple, right? Well, get ready for the plot twist. Sometimes any shows up smack dab in the middle of a totally positive affirmative sentence. How on earth is that possible?
It's possible because any is kind of like a secret agent with a double identity. It can take on a completely different meaning, what we call the free choice meaning. When it's used this way, it's not about quantity at all. It's about unlimited possibility. It means it doesn't matter which one.
Just listen to this sentence. You can borrow any book you like. Now, this is a positive statement for sure, but any is the right word because it means you have a free choice from all the books available. It doesn't matter which one you pick. This is that big exception that shows this whole topic is a little more complex than it first seems.
Whew! Okay, so we've covered the main rule, the emphatic negative, the sneaky hidden negatives, and the big plot twist. Let's take a second and pull all of that together into one simple, easy-to-remember framework.
So, here it is, your cheat sheet. Step 1. For simple positive statements, you're going to use some. Step 2. For questions and negatives with the word not, you switch to any. Step 3. Remember to use any with those hidden negatives, words like never or without. And finally, step 4. You can use any in a positive sentence if you mean it doesn't matter which. And that's the whole system.
So I'll leave you with a little challenge to really make this stick. Based on everything we just talked about, the hidden negatives and that free choice meaning, can you think of a sentence where any is the correct word but the word not doesn't appear? Give it a shot. It's a great way to check if you've really grasped the surprisingly flexible power of this one little word.
And just so you know, all the super clear rules and examples we've looked at today come straight from a fantastic resource, Michael Swan's Practical English Usage. Honestly, it's an absolutely essential book for anyone who's serious about getting the little details of English right.
Thanks so much for joining me.